All right. So at first, I'm going to go over my speech. I did the Maryland die picked. Um, I I did a lot of research for it, which was one of the benefits. I felt like I knew what I was talking about. I hope I was able to convey it well. Um, I the one of the other benefits I found is I didn't say I didn't stop every 10 words and say it like I have in the past. So that was another good thing. And then even though my one of the cons is I felt like the camera was a little close, so you couldn't really see my body posture and movements as well. But even though it was close, I like tended to elevate my hands a little bit, and I was able to show my motions even though I was way too close to the camera. Another positive thing was the clear thesis. I felt I conveyed what I had to say, hit all the main points, so everyone knew what I was going to talk about. On the downside, I kept glancing down at my notes. I should have spent more time studying and preparing for it, but I didn't. So that's definitely one thing I could have done. And then also not staying up for an all-nighter and then recording it at 4:30 in the morning would have been another good idea. So, all right. And then next, I'm going to go over Jedediah's. You did the Heisman Trophy Award. Um, for the pros, you had a very clear thesis. Again, you talked about all the main points you were going to hit. Very good on that. You also seemed to be very informed on your topic, which is another good thing and made it more believable because you seemed like you had a history with it or at least good knowledge of it. You also clearly described it for people that may not be familiar with the Heisman Trophy, which I thought was another good point. Like anyone could have come into that speech and known what you're talking about because you explained it well. On the downside, you said it in your own video and your own review. You were a little fidgety, especially towards the beginning. You seemed to calm it down a little towards the end. You were also every once in a while you were saying so I mean that's just another thing to work about. I just feel like more practice would have helped. And then another thing is restate the thesis at the end, just to like recap all your points and bring things to an end. All right, and then next was Travis's. You did Banksy, the graffiti artist. For the pros, I really liked your hook. It was great. The whole Batman reference. Thought that was a good idea. You could definitely tell you practice your speech as well. Very fluid. Barely had any pauses. Had your hand motions down as well. You also had a clear thesis that informed us of all your points you were going to hit. And you definitely did your research, so I believed everything you were saying. I had never heard of Banksy before, and I, I feel like I learned a lot from it. So, um, the cons for you, there weren't too many, honestly. It looked like you practiced a lot, but one of the things was shifting back and forth. It just like the occasional wobble just kind of distracted a little bit from what you were saying. But other than that, I thought it was a great speech. So, all right, whoever's up next.
Dude. Do you want me to go? I'll go.
Yeah,
Yes. So, okay. So I'll start off with Ryan's. Ryan, I thought yours was pretty well, good. I mean, it did. You put research in, like you could tell by everything you talked about and the history of the piece of art and the artist and everything that went with your speech. You were good with all your points. You had a good thesis statement. You had a good opening. And there was a lot of like information that connected with like how you connected it to today. It wasn't just like about like, oh, back in the day this was like a good artist. You brought it to today. A few points. I mean, there was like the occasional stumble and over words and stuff, but I mean that's common. But overall, I thought it was pretty pretty good. So, and then for Jedediah, I liked yours as well. As well put together. I mean, you also seemed like you knew all your information. You knew what you were talking about and the history of the trophy, and I like how you connected it to today too, just not like in the past, and how everyone kind of knows what it is and the history about it. You did have a few like kind of awkward little pauses, especially towards the beginning. But I mean, as you went through your speech, it got a lot better, and you got all your points across. And like Ryan said, stating the thesis at the end would have tied it all together good. But I mean, overall, I think you both did did pretty good. Yeah.
Do you want to go over yours real quick?
What was that?
Travis, do you want to like review your own real quick?
Oh yeah, my own. For mine, I thought I did pretty good. I like put a lot of research into it, and I think I picked a topic that wasn't like people don't really know who Banksy is, but like a lot of people do, and I feel like it was kind of like a cool way, like where people were doing a lot of like normal artists and like more, let's say like something like not, I don't know how to say it, but like mine was more kind of street art, and everyone was more like professional art. So it was I like the difference of that. And then you're right, like I did have like some awkward like shifts, Ryan, like back and forth. And I feel like when I talk, like my hands are awkward, so I feel like I overthought that every once in a while, and I had a few stumbles in there, but I think overall I did relatively okay. So yeah.
So with mine, I think that you guys are right. I did some of the downsides to start off with were awkward pauses and just trying to collect my thoughts as I was going through, and which is just I got to work on for that. But and then I think that for mine, I did research a lot, did practice a lot, and try to convey what I was trying to get through. So on that, I think that I did okay with that. Ryan's, I think that you did yours pretty well, and you were able to convey your message in a very strong way. And I really like the way that you you showed your visual aid as you were talking about it, and put it in the right area or whatever. And I was able to understand it a little bit better because of that. Some of the downsides, I guess, were just being like pauses or something like that. But overall, it was a good piece. I mean, I learned a lot. And then Travis's, I thought yours was spectacular. I mean, I didn't really find any flaws, and I liked the hook a lot. So that was, at first, I was like, when I was doing it, or, listening to it, I was like, where is he going with this? And all of a sudden, bam, it's like expressing into something like, really, really well. So I thought that was really good. Obviously, like you guys said, you're moving around, but other than that, like both of you guys were able to convey your message in a very positive, in a very effective way. So.
All right, cool. So we got about 10 more seconds. So I'm just gonna say I thought you guys did a great job, and definitely improvements over our last speeches. I would say all the way around, feeling more comfortable and stuff. So keep it up, guys.
Yeah, I think it was a little bit difficult though with the whole like recording it and stuff compared to just like being up in front of the class and saying it. So I feel like that kind of threw off the dynamic of like the speech. But I think overall we all did pretty good. So.
Yeah, I definitely. My computer kept on like blacking out or whatever you want to say, and I kept on like trying to like stop it from timing out. But it is what it is.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Perfect. That looks